What's going on? It's Friday. Always do a little happy dance on Friday, January 6th, 2023. I'm headed to the W2. I thought I would do a tips video. Let's do it. Number one, if you're starting out and you're going to work all day, it's a full-time day. Number one, get up early. Like right now, it's kind of slow. A lot of different places. My suggestion is to be at the store, ready to go at 7, or be able to get to the store by 7. A lot of people don't think they hand out orders like 7:15. Not true. I've gotten them as early as 6:30. So you want to be there before people are shopping. If you do shopping orders and you want to do that, you want to do a couple deliveries before everybody in the world starts delivering. Right now, there seems to be a lot of drivers and not too many orders. So one thing to combat that, get up early. Number two, don't take bad orders. Don't waste your time. One thing is, I don't take anything that's not at least $10. And that has to be like under a mile or something like that. And how often do I do that? Hardly ever. Usually it's got to be at least in the teens. Shopping orders, I don't take nothing that's in the teens. And again, that has to be 1 or 2 or 3 items. And, going 1.2, 2.2, some mileage like that. Don't take bad orders. Don't take stuff under $2 a mile. And don't take stuff that's under $10. And if it's 2 orders, man, it's got to be right at $20. If you're doing a curbside and it's only 2 miles or 2.8 miles, you might be able, especially right now, like it's slow, you might be able to compromise down to 19, 18, 17.95, something like that. But how often do I do that? Not very often. It's always above $20. I took one curbside last week. It paid $39. There's an example. What am I trying to average? I'm trying to average $30 a delivery and $30 an hour, and I'm always right around there. Now I will say this: I've gone out a couple days recently where I could see that wasn't going to happen, where it wasn't worth working, and I didn't work. I found other stuff to do. I'm not working, wasting my time on bad orders. And if I don't think I can make what I need to make, another tip is don't put all your eggs in one basket. If somebody's working full time for Spark right now, it's probably a little lean, right? A lot of drivers, they had to get a lot of people for the holidays. Those people probably made pretty decent money during the holidays, and now all of those people are out, plus the people who were out before. It's probably pretty lean a lot of places. Number one, get out early. Another thing is work late. Maybe taking a break in the middle there somewhere. But yeah, you want some people to give up. Say, I'm not gonna, like I did a couple days. You want some people to give up and say, it's not going to happen today, and then that'll leave you out there. I can't count the times where it was dead, and then people stopped working, and then the orders picked up later that night. I'm a big shopping order hound, and right now I bet there's not a whole bunch of shopping orders out there. So what you got to do is I can hunt them down. And how do you find shopping orders? You go to places where the curbside is just unbelievably horrible. If you live in St. Louis here, Telegraph's a good store for that. Shrewsbury's a good store for that. And Chesterfield is a good store for that. Right now, I understand that St. Charles is just unbelievable dead. That zone, that's called the West Zone, is unbelievably dead. But I bet Chesterfield still has a few orders. It's way on the southwest end of the West region. So the South region is usually busier, but good orders sometimes. That's why you've got to find out where the good orders are. So, like I said, on a shopping order, you definitely don't want to do anything that's not in the teens, and that's just got to be like 5 items or less, and 1, 2 point something miles. You don't even want to get into the 3 miles on those. Those should pay $16, $17, $18. And then if it's 10 items, it should pay right at $20. You can compromise a little bit into the 18, 19, but it should pay 20. Then it pays 15. Definitely has 15 items, and I should say 15 picks. The first number that should be over 20. And then you start getting into 25, 20 items, 25 items, little high 20s, into the 30s, and then if anything's over 30, first number, 30 items, it should pay 35, $40. Again, I try to average $30 a delivery and $30 an hour, and I turned down a lot of deliveries. The way they were doing it during the holidays, anyway, they used to have like a magic hour delivery once an hour, where they would hand out deliveries between 15 to 20 after, and you could work. And a lot of times, especially lately, those orders are not great orders. They're orders that they want you to do. So you could just not be available during that time, working in between the magic hours, like 30 after, all the way up to like 5 after the next hour. But now they're just handing out what you call round robins. Those are orders that you only have 1 minute to take. All different times, all different kind of orders. Even like here, they have Home Depot orders lately that are like that, or .com orders that have 15 deliveries on them, like that. Again, I'm not taking anything that don't pay at least $2 a mile. Really try to stay around 3 or more, a lot more. And I don't do orders. I don't do the .com orders. I've been doing this almost a year, and I've done 3 or 4 .com orders total. I did one that paid $70, and I accidentally took one time. It's when I was really trying to keep my acceptance rate above 40. But my acceptance rate right now is around 2%, which is not where I would like it. But I'm not wasting my time. I'm not doing bad stuff. I'm not compromising down under $2 a mile and stuff like that. So number of items is really important, no matter if you're doing curbside or shopping. Like if you're doing curbside and you want to look at that first number, if it's above 30, 40, 50 items, man, you got what you got to consider is that you're going to probably have to wait for that, right? Because they're going to push out all the, human nature is going to tell you they're going to do the easier orders first, knock out as many as they can, and then work on the bigger orders after that. Now, all the stores aren't like that, but a lot of them are. I don't do a lot of curbside. I probably will have to. Like I plan on working tonight after work. It depends on how work goes, but everywhere's slow right now. So my W-2 is slow. So I plan on working tonight. If I do a curbside, I'm like everybody else. I'm parked in the spot, and I'm on my side window, I'm on my rear window, looking at the door. And if I've got 30, 40 items, I know they're going to be stacked pretty high. I'm watching what's coming out the door, and you'll see, 1 or 2 totes come out over and over and over, and then one out of every 10 times you'll see more than that. So it's not that you shouldn't ever do a 50, 60, 70 orders. The number of items on a curbside, as long as it's going to a house, I don't really care about that, other than I know that I'm probably going to have to wait. So that needs to pay like $30-something. Like I said, I only did one curbside last week, all week. It paid $39. the first number on both of the orders that I took were 19 and no. I still had to wait maybe like 10 minutes. No big deal. But if you're doing 50 items, 60 items first number, you know, I expect you have to wait. Of course, you know, you got like a minute, right? You see a great order, pays 40 bucks, you take it. It's the first number's 60, the second number's 122, and then you look to see what the address is, and it says apartment 303, right? Not only are you gonna have to wait for that order, then you're gonna have to carry it up to the third floor apartment, and you want to look at the items now. In the midst of that, it's gonna say if it's a small, medium, large, or extra large order. Look at the items yourself, because a lot of the times that don't mean nothing. I've seen extra large orders be almost nothing, and I've seen small orders be bigger than the extra large orders that I've taken. So look at the items yourself. You got about a minute to comb through there. If it's got 2 cases of water and 70 items first number, that's 3 trips, at least 3 trips, right? So if it's going to the second floor apartment, you might want to cancel that, say it's an app issue, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're looking for, apartment 209, apartment 309, apartment 2211, apartment 3219, stuff like that, 3319. That's going to tell you a lot of times if it's on the second floor or third floor. So that's when the items are really important, and what the items are. Are you going to take more than 1 or 2? I mean, I've had to take up to 4 or 5 trips to the third floor, but then once, you know what I mean? After I did that once, I learned my lesson and started looking at that a little bit harder. Same way with shopping orders. You get a 50, 60 first number shopping order, it's going to the third floor. Look at the items real quick. Make sure you're not going to take 4 trips up to the second or third floor. And then when you take them out, this is more of a curbside deal. If you have 2 orders, and one of them's going to the second or third floor apartment, make sure you grab the right one. A lot of the stores now make you scan at least one sticker, and that's a great idea. Not just for you, not just for them, but for you too. I like that. You know what I mean? Because I've done it. I've taken 60, 70 items up to a second floor apartment, only to realize, I grabbed the wrong one. My thought process was, I'm pretty sure I put that big order in the trunk. Why would I put it in the back seat? Well, sometimes they're both big orders, and sometimes you get confused, and it's easy to do. And then you gotta take all that stuff back, and then take all the right stuff up. It's only happened once or twice, 3 times more. If it's happened 3 times, that's a lot. But you gotta be real careful. Another really good tip is keep the faith. I can't count the times where I got off to a bad start, wasn't getting any orders, wasn't getting good orders, and then it picked up. Like I said, people drifted away, and it ended up being pretty good. I do move around. I know where the orders are, and I will move around. I will start out sometimes way out of my hometown. It just drift north, and end up, sometimes I'll end up, 50 miles from my house. When you do drift and you do move around, you got to really plan on taking 2 to 3 deliveries wherever you go to make it worth it. You don't want to drive 20 miles and take 1 delivery. But I will move around. Now that with the way they got the incentives, at least here in St. Louis, if you do move zones, they're not going to count towards your incentives. But sometimes you just have to abandon that idea and to make money. And some days, like I said, recently especially, it's just not there. Sometimes I'll just say, today's not my day. I've got other stuff I can do, and I'll work another day. I've done that two or three times lately. You know, Walmart Spark has been very sketchy lately, whether they're even open, stuff like that, and you know, and then it's been slow. You know, I keep an eye on the social media, stuff like that, Facebook groups, stuff like that in my area, and I monitor those. I don't go 100% by them, but you know, I will get some ideas from them on, you know, if it's worth going out, stuff like that. You know, make some money, Sonny. I plan on working tonight, tomorrow, and parts of Sunday. We'll see how it goes.